Hello and welcome to Heads Up, and a very warm welcome to all car and bike enthusiasts. I say that because today is a very special show for you. We are at the Budh International Circuit, a haven for car and bike lovers across the country. And if you're one such person that when you think about coming to the circuit, if your adrenaline gets pumping and running, and if you get excited about cars and bikes, then you're in for a real treat today, as we're going to show you some of the careers and job options for car and bike lovers. First up, let's start with the basics. If you would like to actually work on a car and work with some of the timeless classics, changing them around, remodeling them and making them brand new, I went to such a workshop where this happens and found out what's in store for you. Welcome to the world of automobile restoration. A world in which old is gold and the broken car is your new toy. Automobile restoration is a process of restoring an old car to its former and authentic glory. Automobile restoration experts remodel the car inside out and make it look factory new. This is Tuttu Dhawan's workshop in Noida, one of the foremost automobile remodeling workshops in the country. This workshop has made cars for the likes of Shah Rukh Khan. Here, the best of the best, the classics, the mean machines, and the much-loved cars of the yesteryears are bought, preserved, conserved, remodeled, repolished, and repackaged. And trust me, it doesn't get any better than this. How did you find yourself getting into this line of work?
If I remember correctly, I mean, it was probably 10, 12 years old when I started, when I was involved in the mechanos and the mechanics of automobiles and bikes. That is how I started. I mean, it's just passion.
Something you always wanted to...
I guess I was born with this desire, or probably this is what had God destined me to do.
Tuttu Dhawan is someone who has no formal education in automobile restoration. What drives him to work is his passion and adoration for cars. His workshop renovates and remodels cars without using blueprints or even sketches. Could you explain the business to us a bit? How does it work? Where do you get your cars from?
Well, my business is slightly different from what automobile repair workshops are doing. I'm reconstructing, I'm rebuilding cars, and sometimes cars which are totally rotten, you know, there's nothing to even build. So they just come with the car case and throw it here. He says, now make me a car. And then that's the time when your mind starts thinking, if you're going to rebuild that car, it may be worth rebuilding another car like that.
Usually the cars that come to the workshop have no wheels, or the engine is missing, or the car is simply, well, not a car. All that exists is this. The car is then worked on for over a year to turn it into this. This masterpiece car has been built from scratch at this workshop. From everything to the wooden paneling, to the rear view mirror, to the spokes of the wheel. Everything is planned, sourced, and built at such a workshop. What would be your advice to those who perhaps want to get into the same line of work as you?
Well, now I think times have changed. So we started off with a very rudimentary background. I would say roadside mechanics. But today I don't think there's any concept that has remained as a roadside mechanic. So we all have engineers now, and you get so much information on the net. Even people who are passionate about this job and who academically they could not achieve what they wanted to, even they have access. So it is a question of how passionate you are, how deeply you want to go into the subject. So it's maybe you can self-educate yourself sitting at home. But yes, if you really want to go deep into it, then you need to start doing some practical work and start, you know, reading and writing, and then carry on from there.
to India, there are many such workshops abroad. India is still finding its feet when it comes to automobile restoration workshops. Mind you, the work done here is very different from a regular roadside mechanic. A mechanic can fit in a new side mirror, but an automobile restoration expert can fit in the side mirror that you want. People don't want to buy your special touches to their car if they are not special to them. Therefore, an automobile restoration expert fits your car with your special touches. If you're interested in getting behind the wheel on this job, remember, make sure that your love for cars is paramount and that you not only love the fancy cruise control ones, but also care for the broken and damaged. While Mr. Tutu Dhawan does not have a formal education in automobile engineering, you probably should. So the next time you see a shiny vintage cruising down the road, remember, you have the option of giving a broken car a whole new life. Now, the automobile industry in India is well supported by many online and offline magazines. AutoX is one such leading car magazine in the country, and here's what the team had to say about their job. If you believe your love for cars is strong and your passion for writing even stronger, I might just have the perfect job for you. Ever wondered what it would be like to work for an automobile magazine? Well, wonder no further. Meet Dhruv Bell, car and bike enthusiast, entrepreneur and editor and founder of AutoX magazine.
So the fun part, of course, is the actual testing of cars and bikes. That's the stuff that sort of gets us out of bed every day in the morning. When we are testing cars and bikes, normally we are getting up and out of bed at 5 a.m. So it looks very glamorous, and but there's a lot of hard work that goes into it.
There are many different jobs that are available within such a magazine, all of which come together to produce a final product. Glossy pages reflecting shiny new cars and dream bikes.
Well, I mean, there's the edit team, which basically puts all the content together. There's a photography and design team, so you need to collect beautiful images to communicate basically the effect that these cars and bikes have on you. So you need to create beautiful images, beautiful design. There's a website team, because you now have a magazine in print, but you've also got everything online. We do some basic videos of our own, so you're shooting photography, you're filming videos, you're putting the magazine together, you're doing layouts, you're doing editing, you're doing copy editing. So there's a lot that goes into just the production of the magazine.
Working in any magazine requires you to have strong language skills and an excellent command on the language. But working in an automobile magazine takes that one step further.
On the edit front, at least, language skills are very important. You need to be able to not only drive and ride, but the important thing is to be able to communicate that to the rest of the world. So that's very important. So language skills, the ability to put down how a car feels or how a bike feels into words and communicate that to the next person is important. And that's a challenge. It's not the easiest thing in the world, because to do it in a way that's interesting and informative is very important. The best education is to just read and absorb as much as possible. In today's date, in the automotive industry, people are fortunate because there's so much happening. There's so much information out there. There's so much happening as far as the engineering is concerned, as far as the automobile companies are concerned. Even the racing scene, you've got different companies getting involved in the racing scene. You've got Indians starring now on a global scale. So there's a lot happening. So there are a lot of ways in which you can get involved.
Dhruv's positive outlook on the future of jobs in the industry is something you should take note of. So sit back, belt up, rev up your engines and get ready to drive into your future. We're going to save the best for last. If you want to know how to drive one of these bad boys, you're going to find out right after the break.